Freeganism is creative living outside of capitalism. It's a combination of the words free and vegan, both living freely, free from the oppression of a wage slave economy, and free in that you're not paying for things, not participating in a moneyed economy.
Is it a dog treat or is it arugula?
I mean, we maybe don't want to go crazy because you're a small group, so it's a matter of how much we want to.
Yeah, so this is one store, one night. It's not an unusual night. It's not an unusual store. It's not like they're particularly bad or worst offenders. This is just food that gets wasted every single day in basically every single store. There's a lot of reasons for it. Cosmetic reasons, store stocking reasons, but basically what it comes down to is they just don't care enough not to waste. We're going to take this, we're going to feed ourselves, we're going to feed people around us.
At least one of them is the one.
What is it? A little banana? Here. You want veggie slice? Maybe I'll put them on, okay, veggie slices.
Bitter silica, your maze is like
Not
a
vegan?
At the end of each school year, when I was in high school, I would go through all of my notebooks, just like a mound of paper, like 2 feet high. And I would be like, okay, which of these sheets of paper can still be printed on one side? Which of these sheets of paper are still like totally blank that I can use both sides? It didn't make sense to allow, you know, all these materials to go to waste or to not be used to their maximum potential. One whole cucumber. There's not a blemish on this cucumber. I've never personally seen bleach thrown on food, but I've heard from other Freegans that this has happened at grocery stores that they go to. Some of the stuff that I've seen is like slashing fruit, slashing packaging on containers, plastic packaging. There's been instances with grocery store owners or security guards and stuff that come out, hey, you can't do this here, which isn't true. I mean, it's not illegal. I mean, they may not want me to do it there, but that's a different thing. I'm glad. These are my favorite.
Freeganism does not equal dumpster diving. There's Freegans who don't dumpster dive, and people who garden, people who wild forage. People can grow their food, and there's lots of dumpster divers who aren't Freegan. So I just want to make it clear that because these two often get made into synonyms in the media, and that is not the case. We're not just opting out of participating in the economy on a purchasing level, but for many of us, we're opting out in the, you know, standard work a 9-to-5 job level. And so there's economic need, even if it is by choice.
All our produce, they go through every single one of the items, every single day. Whatever is not really good for selling, they just throw in the garbage. And that's what we do with the produce. So they have to do that every single morning. That's the first things to do in the morning before they even just taking care of any delivery. You got people who come here just for one single items, but they shop some other places because they know the quality and the price. So it's run and big competition around, and everybody try to offer the best service they can to the customers. This is one of the reasons that, you know, we do keep customers coming back, and the freshness and the service that we offer to them.
In my opinion, we feel that we do have an abundance, you know, so that people figure, okay, it's damaged, you know, what the hell, just get rid of it, get something new.
They will throw away a whole meal because some part was messed up, throw it away. I'm like, I could have ate that.
What do they say? One man's trash, another man's gold. You know, yeah. I don't. If it's still good, if somebody's hungry, then eat. I mean, our waste could feed a nation. You know.
I don't think about what they're doing with the food if it doesn't get sold. I'm just thinking about me buying food and seeing it all the time. It's always fresh and it's always here. I thought it actually went to better use or something. I would think it would go to better use.
If you do all your shopping from local farmers at the farmers market, that's an expensive choice to make. It's not the fault of the farmers, it's the fault of subsidies of the large agribusiness. It's not okay that only privileged people, that only middle class and upper class people can afford to go local and go green.
People eat with their eyes first. That's the first thing they see when it comes to their plate, is how attractive the plate looks. Same thing with people. Attractiveness, different qualities stimulate different things in your mind. There's events where they just want platters of food strewn across the tables. And at the end of the party, I can't reuse any of that food. So we have to throw it out. And each time we do, it gives me pause. I think, I'm like, damn, that's a shitload of waste. Growing up, both my parents worked. We're upper lower class, I guess, maybe lower middle class. I don't know what that weird gray area is, but so yeah, that carries on as a chef. I don't like when things get wasted. I don't like when a customer especially sees just some small defect with their food or vegetable without understanding that these are, the imperfections of nature. Sometimes they're not all the same size. I was going past the Trader Joe's one day when I saw people reclaiming the food that they were throwing out into the dumpsters. And I heard people walking by commenting on how disgusting or gross it was. And what I saw there, what I'd seen they were pulling out was perfectly fine fruit. Everything was healthy, everything looked great. It was just the context of where that food was. Had I not seen it come out of a dumpster, I wouldn't have thought anything of eating it whatsoever. Somebody would present it.
Try as I may, I'm alone in my arms. Just as I welcome each of these days.
I feel I've been an activist pretty much as long as I can remember, from, being a kid and writing a letter to the mayor to save the woods behind the house type of thing, to being part of the animal rights group in school. But once you see how bad these corporations really are, you realize that you're not going to fix Chevron. You may, through a targeted boycott, get them to stop doing one bad thing. Chevron's never going to be a good company. People confront us all the time, saying, don't you think it's hypocritical to say you're against capitalism and then live off its waste? But we're the first ones to say, we hope we can't do this 10 years from now. I hope that 5 years from now there's not enough to go around, that we all have to figure out how to garden, we all have to become part of, communal food growing co-ops and things like that. We all have to come up with these other solutions. But for now, this is going to end up in a landfill making greenhouse gases, and we may as well put it to good use.
Aww.